just crossed Highway 48, and this is the Floral City Trailhead, which is the actual center point of the 46-mile-long rails to trails that we're on right now. It goes from Trailhead down south by Dade City, clear up almost into Dunellen, so spans 3 counties. It's quite large. This beautiful gazebo, and a lot of these things we have here from the Withlacoochee Rails to Trails volunteers. They're friends of the Rails to Trails. They do all kinds of things to raise money so that we can have beautiful things like this. We have a brand new bathroom now and a rest center that has been just put in recently that we're very proud of. And our gazebo here is actually from a trust. She was from one of the great-granddaughters of John Paul Formey Duval, one of our, if you remember, one of our first pioneer settlers that we have here. So it's just a great place to stop. There's places to park, and this is a place where you can get any place in Floral City to come and see all the little shops and the things that we have here. The Shamrock Restaurant is right down here. Aunt Martha's Produce is over here to your left. And if you go straight ahead, we're going to see what else we can find on the trail going through Floral City. Look what we have here. Now, if you're traveling north on the trail, it's going to be on your left. If you're traveling south on the trail, it's going to be on your right. But this is the Ferris Groves property, and up there you can see the packing house and the store. This field right here was also the site of the first few strawberry festivals that were held here in Floral City. They put a big sand pit out there for the kids and a bunch of money in it and change, and those kids went wild all day. They had electricity put in and stuff, but this was actually the site right here of the very first strawberry festival here in Floral City. So we hope maybe someday to bring some of it back up this way. But if you're looking for something when you're coming through here and you want a snack or you want some fresh juice, they have milkshakes, strawberry milkshakes at Ferris's, and my favorite, the fudge. They have fudge in there too. So it's a great little place to stop and kind of relax while you're headed into Floral City. So stop by and say hello. Oh, good. I was hoping we would pass one of these. This is something I want to show you guys. These mile markers here, that's what they are. They're not just big concrete pillars that sit here. They are the old railroad markers, mile markers. And R801 actually means that it is 801 miles to Richmond, Virginia. And that was the home of the railroad. So that's why you're R801, and that's what that means on these trails. So while they're not mile markers for the trail itself, probably, if you want to know how far it is to Richmond, Virginia, you just have to take a look at the trail. So that's pretty cool that they've saved these and they've repainted the letters on them. And all through here you'll find whistle stops where there's poles with whistles on them that would tell the conductors that it was time to blow your whistle. There might be a train coming. On some of the train trestles and things through here, it has all kinds of different boards and things like that that were left from the railroad industry when it was here. So that's just one cool little thing that I didn't even know about Floral City and about these things, these big concrete posts that stand up. So you do a little digging, you just never know what you're going to find out. You know, friends, riding down this trail, even when we walk down this trail and looking at, like we just saw the thing for the railroad markers, it makes me stop and wonder, you know, back in the old days when the railroad first came through here, Floral City Road, Old Floral City Road, was simply a dirt trail. 41 was barely even thought of yet, if it was even there. Basically, the railroad, the conductors would come down these long and open patches of wilderness that nobody had ever seen before. I wonder, and I think about these stories that I've read, and we had one train engineer, and he was quite a character. His name was Old Dunbar, and he had a special way of blowing his horn, and he worked for the railroad, and he came through here quite often. And I remember Miss Vivian Higginbotham used to tell a story about Mr. Dunbar, Captain Dunbar. And she said he would jump off the train when he got into Floral City. He would run right in there to the Puckett house, and they would have a cold glass of buttermilk waiting for him. and he would drink down that buttermilk and chug it until it was gone, run right back out the door and back on the train, and away he would roar on the train. Captain Dunbar was a very handsome gentleman. Matter of fact, that's the first thing that struck me about him, was how debonair and handsome he was. He also was very taken with a very pretty little lady that lived in Inverness at the time, and her name was Mattie Mae Dampier. And matter of fact, he got in quite a bit of trouble with the foreman because he would come through at all hours of the night blowing that horn on that train to let Miss Maggie Mae know that he was thinking of her. But that didn't stop him. He married the young lady, and then they had 3 beautiful children, one of which passed on early in life. The other one moved to Lakeland, and one of them became a very prominent dentist in St. Petersburg. Captain Dunbar passed away at the age of 55, and he was well loved, and he was quite a personality. And you know, I have to wonder, the things that he might have seen and the people that he waved to, and he was always a big part of the community just because he was a daily occurrence. He drove engineered trains such as the Sunny Jim and different ones that were well known through the county. And I often wonder what he would have seen coming through here. The wildlife that they talk about that was out in this area at the time, things that you wouldn't even think that you'd see in Florida. So sometime when you're on the trail, just kind of take a moment and think back to what might have been here and what those old trained engineers might have seen back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. This trail was a connector when it was a train track. It was a connector for life and all kinds of things here, for merchandising and to get our products in and out in our way of life. And now it also continues. After the railroads have gone and they've faded away, now it's also used as a connector to bring people to these communities, through these communities on walking, hiking, biking, equestrian trails. This is a part of Florida that people wouldn't believe if you'd see it. It's just so different from what you expect Florida to be in your mind. And the trail up to Floral City is beautiful, and south of Floral City it is even more beautiful with all the phosphate mines. It goes right next to the Withlacoochee River, which is a paddling trail also. So you can hike and bike and camp and paddle and your way all the way down through this area. And I can honestly tell you, this is part of Florida that is not touched and very pristine and almost uninhabited from anyone except for nature. So really it's something that we're proud of and we're very happy to have here. And we're really grateful that we get to enjoy it on a daily basis.